What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Southside Adventures. We are getting off the bike and back into the water. We're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with the Ohana Dive Company, exploring a sunken Coast Guard cutter, the Ancient Mariner. It's been way too long since I was in the ocean, so let's get underwater. The descent onto the ship is always one of my favorite parts of the dive. Slowly watching the wreck and all the sea life emerge from the endless blue of the ocean is an amazing experience, and it's always a highlight. I said it in my last wreck dive video, and it's still true. These wrecks are little oases of life in the endless sand and water of the ocean. As I come onto the deck, I immediately start exploring and looking for entrances into the hull. I found an entrance that looked ideal, but upon further investigation, I saw that it was walled off, so I decided to abandon this one and move on. Instead, I backed off the deck to get a wide shot of a school of fish and spotted two big holes near what I think is some sort of communication tower. Upon closer look, I saw that they are full of junk like scrap metal and tires, so obviously I can't enter that way. After a brief look at the tower, I resumed looking for more entrances. I found a potential hole, but after sticking my head in, I realized it is much smaller than I had initially thought, and I ended up scraping my tank on the side of the ship. Wreck diving is a bit of a dance, having to make sure I don't get lost, run out of gas, stay in communication with my buddy, not get stuck, and not disturbing the sea life. That's a lot to consider, so I'm not going to push my comfort zone on my second ever wreck dive. I end up making a retreat and taking an extra second to reorient myself with the communications tower and keep exploring. I decide to hold off entering the hull for a second, as I want to explore the entire ship, so I head towards the prow. I end up exploring the deck near the front of the ship. I spotted a lot more entrances into the hull of the ship, but I ultimately ended up skipping them, as I thought they were a bit too tight for comfort, and I noticed that they were also lined with coral. Instead, I take this opportunity to look at a school of fish and follow them around the communications tower. I chased that fish for a bit, trying to get a better luck, but got unlucky and eventually decided to try and get some more cinematic shots of the whole ship. I spent a bit of time getting a few clips, but I spotted an entrance point that I missed my first time around, so I headed off to investigate. However, I quickly realized that I'm not going in that way. There was some sort of predatory fish, assumedly a barracuda, that was just hanging out in the hull of the ship. This fish seemed pretty upset, and when my dive buddy flashed a light on it, it started to move around and bare its teeth at us. We weren't going to swim into its house, and we decided to retreat and keep exploring a less dangerous area of the ship. At this point, my dive is coming to a close, and I spend the rest of my time looking at a few more cool fish, like one digging in the sand for a snack. I hang out near their stern, swim to the top of the communications tower and get a top-down view of everything, and finally begin my ascent. At this point, I've got nothing left to do but swim to the surface and think about how lucky I am that I get to do this for fun. And that wraps up the dive. This was a really fun trip, and even though I couldn't fully explore the ship, I still enjoyed getting in the ocean and changing things up. Big shout out to the Ohana Dive Company. They are the awesome instructors that put this trip together. I've been working with them for several years, and if you want to learn the dive, I cannot recommend this team enough. Check the description for more info. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you can identify that predatory fish, or if you have an adventure you'd think I'd like, sound off in the comments or hit me up on my socials. All that can be found in the description. And if you don't want to miss another adventure, subscribe and ring the bell. Thanks for diving with me, and I'll see you all on the next adventure.